Shalom, shalom. Shalom. So like check. So like all right, shalom. As always, when I start off, of course, giving all honor and glory, infinite praise and worship to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Ever honor to our apostles and our elders, a great millstone, rule well, teacher, and sound doctrine. Strong shalom to the hopeful elect, the rest of the large multitude of men, women, and children that the Lord will have mercy on these last days. Brother Kadash coming back with a quick, well, I won't say quick, I'm going to try to be as quick as I can, touching on this topic, Saturn, okay, through the spirit and power, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, Lord willing is edifying, all right? Now, I touched on this like some years ago, but want to go up, bring out a little bit more details on it. Salakia, on my page, I've been trying to post, just repost, videos of different news clips and different things throughout the week. Just getting over I had that boy, that bug, man. I was sick. So today is really the only day I've been able to really fully get full strength, and that the Lord bless, man. The Lord have mercy, and we here, man. So Wadi HaBashim Shah for allowing me to be able to, what I'm saying, teach. So yeah, it's like it for my absence during the week. I still kind of got a light headache, but it is what it is. All right, so today uh is it's well, it's 12 o'clock at night, but it's these pagans just got done celebrating Xing out Hamashiach, all right, better known as Christmas. Okay. Matter of fact, we can start with that. Revelations 11 and 8 says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." And in the place we know our Lord was crucified was in Rome. Okay, so it's like, yeah. So we know that it's not talking about. It's talking about a different place, and that place that it's talking about is America. Okay, which the whole world follow after the Babylonian customs and the Babylonian ways, which is America, Sodom and Egypt. And this is where we were dead at, in a dead state, and where the truth stems out of and spread across the four corners of the world. All right. So, matter of fact, shalom, shalom. Yeah, brother, I had the flu, so I wasn't. It was a decree by the apostles not to be around the brothers. I can repost the brothers did have camp. I can repost it on my channel when I'm done with this, Lord willing. All right, to responding to this brother here, the guy man 2015. All right, shalom. All right, um, but like I said, let me pull this up real quick. My mind's been so gone. I know I start off the same way, but just in case I missed it, double honors again to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who will well teach you on sound doctrine. Um, so Saturn, it goes into a lot, man. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so and it's all connected. All right, it's all connected. Okay, so if you don't know, Okay, Saturn worship is a thing. All right. And this is when you look at these things, and this is the left hand side, all right, at its best, all right. And this is when you look at these things, this is the left hand side. Come on, the water out. All right, so look, if you look at this, you got to pay attention though. You know what I mean? Because like, all right, you see all these Saturn. You know what I'm saying? You got Saturn, the cube. A lot of people was into the Xbox. You got the Xbox now. Like, what's the Xbox look like now? New Xbox, right? New Xbox. All right, Black Cube. Okay, so and this all goes back to the it's like it. This all goes back to the Saturn worship. All right, and as you can see, it says Australia, Denmark, Manhattan, Santana. Okay, these are different locations where they got these little statues at. All right, let's exit out of that. You can go through this on your own. Another good one is the Kabbalah stone. Okay, it has when they walk around it, it makes that ring. Okay, it all goes back to what you're gonna find out that when these people worship Saturn in Christmas, okay, oh Saturnalia, okay, going back, it really goes back to Nimrod and and Tammuz and Semiramis, okay, the Babylonian customs. This goes back to what all together in a nutshell of things, sun worship. Okay, that's what Saturn worship is, and I'm gonna show you that, Lord willing, is edifying. And that's why they got this little snake and the meta. Okay, all these things is never ending. Okay, that circle, that Saturn ring is it's a ring. It never ends. That's what this meta symbol symbolizes. Okay, beyond. Okay, going beyond. Okay, or infinite life. Okay, the number 8. Okay, in a sense on the left hand side. You see Michael Jackson here. All right. Now keeping that in mind, man, it feels good to just be into this. They never take the teaching for granted, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Thank the Most High that if you are able to teach, you get in, man, get in there, because it feels good. So now let's go to this. Okay, this is Saturn, all right, Saturn mythology, all right. This is Wikipedia, all right. Now, before I even get into this, let's go over here. Okay, you have because look, it goes into all that Saturday, okay, Sunday, all connected. Um, uh, Now when you go into where is it at over here? This is another interesting point. Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun. Okay, that hence that number 6. Because you got to remember, we're dealing with the monster himself, the dragon, the beast, which is this man's system, and Esau Edom, the image that spearheads it. Okay, being and also his the system, the beast, which is his military, his politics. Okay, NATO and the EU and so forth. You know, but this number, as it says in Revelations 13 and 18. Is this 666? This number 6 is attached to his being, man. It's attached to his system. You see, so when you go into it, okay, Saturnalia. Now I had did some research, as you can see, Chronos, okay, is a it says was the leader of the youngest of the first generation of the Titans, right? Blah blah blah. But they say it's not the same, okay, as Chronos. Okay, Chrono, or are you dealing with the time, or but as a time demon, which I did a lesson on called Kron. Okay, and obviously I'm not gonna say it and spell it out, but you know what I'm getting at with it. Okay, dealing with these different uh the sea ragamuffin that's being you know uh you gotta be careful with your words, man. That's being dispersed in the world. Okay, as a global event. Okay, if you've been following us, you understand what we speak about. it's so much to get into. And like I said, I don't want to jump the gun. So you get into Saturnalia, okay? And Saturnalia says in an ancient Roman festival and holiday in honor of the god Saturn, okay, held on the 17th December of the Julian calendar and then later expanded with festivities through to the 23rd December. Now, where did the 25th of December come from? Okay, obviously, like I told you, it goes back to Nimrod, but it comes from also it comes from Nimrod, but in a lot of times, obviously, they keep revisiting it and they put different tweaks to it. But it goes back to also it goes into the sun worship, like I said. So it says jumping down Saturnalia right here. It says let's just jump to the last point, the renewal of the light. You see the renewal of the light, which in reality we all know, and we can't be bamboozled because we understand that in the winter time everything is at a dead state. In the springtime, that's why it's called spring forth. Life is being reborn, okay, reincarnated or regenerated, I should say. Okay, the buds and the flowers and the animals and different things that come back out. Okay, the leaves on the trees. Okay, these things are sprung forth, okay, meaning life. That's how you know Yahawashi was born in the spring, okay. Also going into the scriptures themselves, okay. But it says here, it says the renewal of light, right? And this is how you know you're dealing with the damn devil, because when you go to Job 10 and 21, it says, "Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness." So the light is as darkness. Okay, so that's what we see here, the light being as darkness. Okay, it says the renewal of light. You don't see no light in the wintertime besides the snow. It says, "And the coming of the new year was celebrated in the latter Roman Empire at the Dies Natalis of Sol uh, Invictus. It says Sol Invictus was long considered to be with the official sun god. So how does this is so this is the point, because this is tying back to Nimrod and Semiramis and Tammuz, and this is Saturn worship is going connected with sun worship. Okay, it says in recent years, however, the scholarly community has become divided on soul between traditionalists and growing group of revisionists. Okay, but the point is that it says the birthday of the unconquerable sun, the unconquerable sun. But I thought the sun. Hold on. See, how is the sun unconquerable? But you have a higher power that created it. This is Genesis 1. Okay. How is the sun unconquerable? This is this is Genesis 1. And let's go. This is Genesis 1. I want to start at I guess we could start at the nah. Let's go. Let's start at 14. Genesis 1:14. The Most High said, or all the power said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament and the heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And the powers made two great lights. Okay, and those two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So, right. And what's the greater light? The sun. So the powers that the Father gave the Yahawashi and the first fruit elect. Okay, the elect, the first fruit, the power, the angels, the power to bring forth this greater light. He made the stars also. He set them in the firmament of the heaven to give the light upon the earth. and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And the powers saw that it was good. You see, so it said that let's go back. It says the birthday of the unconquerable sun. So this is not talking about the sun in itself, because the sun is conquerable because it was created by a higher power. Okay, anything that's created by something else is conquerable. Okay, okay, which that's why the Father himself, he can't be conquered, because he always was, he is. Okay, that's why Esau's mind, he's deranged in the mind, because he think he can conquer the Father when he was created by the power. But anywho, so this is going into a being. This is a being that represents the sun in the sky. That's worship, that was displayed amongst the world to say this is him. Okay, and that's why the people worship the sun. That's why people face the east, and not in the sense of facing Jerusalem, because when you can even get like the Jerusalem app, okay, and you can clearly see that when the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So when the sun rises in the east, and say you got the Jerusalem app, and you, because you were supposed to face we face the east in our location, we face the east, as the scriptures say, and because the Jerusalem sits in the east, but the sun rises in the east too. So you got to be careful of facing the sun when you pray and you worship. So when you get the app, it got like a little slant to it. You know what I'm saying? It's not directly towards the sun. It's more at a little angle to it. You know, because the sun is you got to just play around with it. But it says the birthday of the unconquerable sun. And so this is actually going into Nimrod and his whole dynasty, man. Okay, because from that reign, you still have them being worshipped to this very day. And that's going into the scriptures, because when you go to First Kings, okay, I'm gonna just put in Tammuz, First Kings chapter 8, and what I say, First Kings, Ezekiel 8. Slacky, I'm thinking of another something else. I told you, Slacky, Ezekiel 8. I used to go into this all the time. Ezekiel 8. I'm gonna start at 12. It says, then said he unto me, son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? You know, because why? Because demons like dark. You know, everything dwells in the dark. It can't be seen. That's why a nigga that wear dark ass shades, dark, like everywhere they go, you know, the brother might be dealing with some spirits, man. You know, because them certain spirits don't they like to be here at certain times of the day. You know, like I've literally seen brothers with dark shades on driving at night with tinted windows, man. How is that possible? I got tinted windows on my truck, and I could barely see out my shit, man. You know, it says every man in the chambers of his imagery. For it says, for they say the Most High Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua seeth us not. You see, that's a demon. Yahweh have forsaken the earth. It says, he said also unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of Yahweh's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat a woman weeping for Tammuz. Right. So Tammuz, we can probably, let's see what they say for Tammuz. You know, the blue letters sometimes be going off. Okay, so see, it says a Sumerian deity of food or vegetation. Right. Hold on. Let's hold that right there. That's a beautiful point, though. You know, because it says Sumerian deity of food or vegetation. So these women, they were weeping for Tammuz, but they were facing the sun. They were facing the sun. They was crying out to the sun. And when you go back to this, okay, let's go into it. It says, birthday of the unconquerable sun on December 25th. Now, when you go into it, I gotta find out where it's at. I have it somewhere pulled up, but it's gonna say that this is damn, where is it at? Let me see if I can find it, because it's gonna go into that this is being like, maybe let me see, let me read it. Because it's gonna say the same thing what Tammuz is gonna say here, dealing with the vegetation. Okay, it says let's read it. Okay, here, yeah, con. See, here it is right here. Saturn is associated with a major religious festival in Roman calendar, Saturnalia, right? Saturnalia celebrated the harvest and sowing and ran from, see, the harvest and sowing. I read it earlier. What the hell does this have to do with anything, man? I mean, you're in the winter time. This has nothing to do with no type of life. Sowing no seeds, no nothing, man. You know, but this is the mindset of Eve, you know. So when you go back to Tammuz, it says sprout of life, sprouts of life, because he's worshipped as the sun. As we go back, it says the birthday of the unconquerable sun. Okay, because you got to keep in mind, how did Nimrod install this into the minds of the people? How did he know to push this onto the people? Because it goes back to his grandfather, which you had Noah had 3 sons. You had Ham, Cum, right? Shem, and Japheth. All right, which were the 3 sons. Okay, and not at Cum, which it means hot. Okay, you had other sons, and you had sons that came out of each line. But Nimrod come from the line of Hum. Okay, you know, the Cushites and all them, and that's the line of Nimrod. And Nimrod was told they were taught these stories, man, because Noah taught his sons. They knew the story, man. You know, they knew what it was. So Noah, Nimrod did too, and Nimrod knew that if he could convince, you know, if he could convince the people that he is the anointed to come, then they will worship him, because they didn't know when he would come. They just knew that the son of the power had to come to redeem back. So they knew that this had to play out. They knew that, because they knew that this was a prophecy. Because Yahawashi has been talked about since the beginning of time to come and do what he did, man. Everybody knew the story, man. So that's why it's hard for the people to grasp it in this day. Let me see what time I'm on. Huh. That's why it's hard. That's why it's hard for the people to grasp it in this day, because um because they hear so many replicating stories of it from the Virgin Mary story. I mean, you know, in Catholicism, the story in Catholicism, the story ranging from, you know, Egypt, from all these different stories. They took the concept of the scriptures, okay, in the prophetic message, and they tried to rush the process, but on the left hand side, and they tried to revert the process because they knew it had power to it. So when Yahawashi actually came on the scene, you know, it looked like, you know, it was just another guy, man. And we know that's not the case, you know, and we know that's not the case. You know, you have in history, and in history, you have so many virgins. Look, how you do it? Mother, because mother and child worship. Here it is. We have so many. Look at this in all religions. In all religions, because this is what I'm trying to get Akim to understand. Because it goes back to all of this that the spirit has been bringing out. Okay, thus far. you know, and this is what he tried to conquer, you know, because they knew that this concept was going to come in the earth, and if they could push it before it actually came forth, then the truth will be a lie, and the lie will be a truth, you know. But that's how the devil work, man. That's how the devil work, you know. So, anyways, so going back, you know, yeah, man, it's all connected, you know. Tammuz. Okay, it says Babylonia deity, man. You know, which Tammuz, again, it's a Syrian god, okay, which is the sun. Tammuz, um, Tammuz is the son of Nimrod, okay, or I should say, you know, some people say Tammuz is Nimrod reincarnated or whatever, man. You know, some say Semiramis took, you know, he had sex with his mother. You know, she took his penis. You know, all type of different stories. But the fact of the matter is, these people did exist, and his story did exist. It's just told different ways, man. You know, so if you go back, we're gonna go back. So that's heavy that said that he has to deal with let's get it again. It says sprout of life, deity of food and vegetation, you know, and that's what these women were weeping after. They were weeping after Tammuz. It said, let's read it. Then said he unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. But let's go back up to 14. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of Yahweh's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. You see, and how you know they was facing the sun? Let's read 16. And he brought me into the inner court of Yahweh's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of Yahweh of the Most High, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs toward the temple of the Most High, and their faces toward the east. And they worshipped the sun toward the east, right? Because Tammuz was a representation of a sprout of life, and they worshiped the sun, man. And this is what the Eye of Horus is, and this is what the Egyptians did, and this is why, you know, they got stories like when Yahweh, it said, yeah, through the scriptures, Yahawashi was walking on water. You got the stories where they say that comes from the actual sun shining on the water, and that was the sun walking on water. You know, this is the mind games that these people play, man. You know, but all that is said to say and bring it back to understanding where this concept of Christmas comes from. You know, they X out the image of the Lord. Okay. They X out the image of the Lord. And and on top of that, they say it's a day of life, okay, in the middle of death, you know. So Saturn, um so you celebrating your Christmas, you as a way that you also sacrificing your children unto Baal, okay. You're giving your children over into the devil, man, okay, and at the same time marking yourselves, man, you know, for that you know, for that lake of fire, man. So when you go into it again, let's go back to this etymology, Saturnalia, okay, pertaining to Saturn, man. And Saturnalia is the Roman festivals again, held in December. What day? December 25th, a time of merrymaking for all, from neuter, plural, or et cetera, pertaining to Saturn. Okay. Now you go into Saturn. Saturn again was a Roman god. It says most remote planet. Now, when you go into this, you got different things, right? Because you got Saturnine. All right, what's Saturnine? Saturnine is what? Gloomy. Come on, sluggish, grave. Saturnine, that's what Saturnine is. And Saturnine comes from Saturn. It says born under the influence of the planet Saturn, right? Which was the most remote from the sun. These people have a diligent search, man. They don't say things without meaning, man. So when you go back into Saturn, it says identify with the Greek chronos. Okay. Again, like some say it's not connected, but you can't convince me that it's not connected. You know, going back into Chrome or Kron, okay, dealing with the demon, the what is it? Uh the clock demon, okay? Let me see. I mean, I brought it out before. We don't got to get it. We don't got to get it. But you know what I'm saying. So when you go back to Wikipedia, let's go back to it. Let's go up. It says you know, Cronus, okay, Greek equivalent, okay, Chronos. It's all connected, man. It's all the same thing, man. It's all the same people, okay. But when you go into it, you go to Cronus, okay. Um, Here's Cronus. And when you go into Cronus, they actually link Cronus to be the same as Zeus, to be the same as the Saturn worship, to be the same as, you know, that God complex, which is when you got the towers, okay, the cell towers. I'm not gonna say the name. You know what I'm talking about. It's in the shape of a crown, okay. The crown of your head going back into your mental, your psyche, okay. Like you got to understand what all these things is talking about, man. It says they try to, you know, they linking it to El the Phoenician, like, you know, but because showing you that they're linking it to a high, to be the top status. As a matter of fact, look at it. Yep, there it goes. I'm about to say they got a genealogy chart. So you got Cronus at the top. You know what I'm saying? Then you got everybody else. You know, showing you that this is supposed to be like their version of the Most High. You know, the God of harvest. And let's look up something real quick. When does harvest happen? When do when is harvest? Let's just do that. When is harvest season? It says late September to early December is the time where farmers get to see the reward of the growing season. Harvest starts in mid-September, and most do not understand all the work that goes into harvest. Making sure that all crops are dry is the most important. This is important for storage reasons. Um, Says most what months do they harvest their crops in fall? It says what crops are harvested in December. Right, they got a list of some crops. Uh, it says harvesting is the process of gathering a ripe crop from the fields. Reaping is the cutting of grain or pulse for harvest, typically using a scythe, sickle, or a reaper, right? Which is where you get the grim reaper, which is Yahawashi. He's going and he's Revelations 14. He's going to thrust through that sickle farming tool, obviously to pluck up the crops that are ripe or ready for plucking. Okay, the completion of harvesting marks the end of the growing season. So remember, um, this is the God of harvesting. Okay, so and it was a point I was about to make. Let me see where's that. And you got to remember, the scriptures tell you that this man has changed times and laws. So even though because it's like it said, it is 4 stages to farming or harvesting or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the seasons, it's different processes and different stages. Okay, not saying that you like. I think because I quoted something earlier or I said something earlier. I don't want to confuse um the people, but you got to remember that this man is death. He's darkness. Okay, so he make you think that life happens in darkness is what I was trying to get at earlier. Okay, which is why he said that it's saying okay with sprout of life. Okay, it's happening around like no, and this sprout of life happens to be his own imitation of of power, which is Tammuz or Semiramis or Nimrod, in a form, or supposed in a pseudo form of the real power, Yahawashi HaMashiach, our Lord, our Savior, the Anointed. You know, and that's kind of what I was getting at in the overall picture. Where we at? Yeah, calm. So when you and that's really where Christmas, the deeper aspect of Christmas, like you said, Saturnine, dealing with gloomy, morose, sluggish, grave. This comes from Saturn. Saturn is linked to Saturnalia. Okay, Saturnalia is a celebration of. Let's go back to it. All right, a festival. Okay, but the festival celebrated life. Okay, which was no life. You know, because we read we read it. It comes from Saturn. Okay, it comes from Saturn. Okay, and Saturnine comes from Saturn. It all deals with the gloominess. Okay, but also it's linked to Tammuz, like we brought out in Ezekiel 8. Sun and it's linked to what? Sun worship. Okay, because it said what again? The birthday, the birthday of the unconquerable sun, and that's talking about uh Nimrod. Okay, Tammuz. They thought they were gonna be unstoppable. They want to live on forever. Okay. Saturnalia celebrated the harvest and sowing and ran from kept during the year. It says the revelries of Saturnalia were supposed to reflect the conditions of the lost golden age before the rule of Saturn was overthrown. Not all of them desirable except a temporary relief from civilized constraint. It says the Greek equivalent was Chronia, was an Athenian festival held in honor of Kronos. You see Kronos on the 12th day of whatever Hecatombion, the first month of the Attic calendar and roughly equivalent to the latter part of July and first part of August. You see? So in the scriptures, when we bring out Jeremiah 10, it's for a reason, man. You know, vocab alone. It says, "Hear ye the word." It's like it, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speak unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said Yahawah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, for the customs of the people are vain." Right. And this is a heathenistic custom. These are heathenistic ways because they're outside of life. They're pseudo, they're artificially gotten, okay, artificially sown. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cut of a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe, they deck it with the silver and gold. Okay, bear with me. They fasten it with the nails and with hammers that it move not. And like the elder said from Baltimore, who his page is Holy Bible Defenders. Like he said earlier, man, you know, I mean, what else do you apply this to, man? You know, I mean, like people just, you know, emotional, they don't get it, and they're liars, man, because this is plain, you know. It says they deck it with silver and with gold, they fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree. I mean, it's the same thing as a goddamn Christmas tree, man. I mean, I don't understand what more do you want to see. Christmas tree. Uh Christmas tree. You know, it's upright as a palm tree, man. Okay, is it not? It's decked with silver and gold. So no matter what, if it's a Christmas tree, if it's a pine tree, if whatever, if it's a alligator tree, Negro, if it's any type of tree that's doing what this is saying, we're not to do it. That's the point, man. And it just so happened that this is done on Saturnalia Day or Nimrod's Day, which, and again, it's symbolic for his rod. Okay, it's a phallic. It's an obelisk. Okay, that's what an obelisk is too in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? It comes to a point. Suppose it's a representation of a rod, man. Okay, it says that's why they wear that ak, you know, that on their neck with the circle, and it got the little, because it represents a rod, and the circle represents a woman's area. Okay, which when you put it together, it just means life. Basically, that's what it means. Okay, with that symbol that they wear. Okay, um, but that's a god. That's their god. You know, we don't. The Lord was crucified on the cross, but we don't walk around with a cross on our neck. That becomes idolatry. It says they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good. You know, so I just wanted to show this, man. Like, like you know, chrono, like you see here. Now this is spelled with a CHRONO, but like I said, it really stems from the same thing, really, because like it says here, like look how they do it. It said before vowels, cron, word forming element meaning time, right? The like the clock demon or the time demon, whatever, from Latinized form of Greek chronos, time, a defined time, right. Now it said because you got chronic, right? Like you deal with chronic or some type of disease lasting a long time, right? That's where they get the name from, dealing from chronos, okay, or chronic, okay, a chronic disease, okay, a disease that's lasting, okay, that's gonna be with you for a period of time, a long period of time. And it says, tell me where it says that it says it says Damn, where's it at? It's gonna say something like it's gonna be sarcastic. I can't find it for the sake of time, but it does say something along the lines of I'm gonna just paraphrase. Um, not oh well, because it says which is of uncertain origin. Oh, they didn't finish it. Yeah, they took it out because after this it was say. Let me read it. Told it says refinement time or defined time, lifetime, a season. You see a season, okay? Right. A season goes back come on, man. Goes back to this. This is what they're trying to get at, you know what I'm saying? Cronus, okay? Dealing with the Greek equivalent, okay? Was the god of the harvest, a season, dealing with time, okay? Man, it's all connected, man, you know? But Saturday, all that, man. Um, yeah, man. So with that, man, I pretty much hit the point. You know, I can't find what the one point where I was trying to find with the chrono, okay, because they were saying something like it says which of is of uncertain origin, and it says something along the lines of not really related to the Chronos version that I'm talking about in terms of you know linking up with Saturn and Saturnalia, but that's the mind games Esau play. Okay, yeah, I can't find it, so you probably have to search it on your own. But that's literally it, man. Going into this a little bit, man. Saturn worship, Saturnalia goes back to the Romans, the pagans. Okay, the pagan Roman Empire. Going even with the Greeks, going with down to the back to the Babylonians, the Egyptians. Okay, every nation, okay, outside of the Israelites, even the Israelites that participated in these ways, but mainly the nations who pushed these ways on the people, and our people fell for it. Okay, fell for the okie doke, man, and that's where it comes from. And these people still do this to this very day. They weep for Tammuz. They pray to the sun. Okay, they worship the sun, which is why their Christmas trees they put a star at the very top of it. You see, they put a star, an artificial star. Yahawashi said he's the bright and morning star. Okay, he's the day star. He's the day star. But this is artificial star because you also have Satan who transformed himself into an angel of light. You know, see, look at that. That's a star, and that's supposed to be a bright star, but that's a representation of the sun, a bright star. You know, so Lord willing, this was edifying, man. I want to give all honor and glory, infinite praise again, and worship to make this big. Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone again, who will teach you on sound doctrine. Strong shalom to the hopeful elect. That scattered abroad, man. That's enduring, fighting a good fight, man. Uh, until next time, shalom, man. The Bible boy.